You're rocking with the hype plugs.
Who are you?
I'm Murakami from Richmond, Indiana. Now I'm in Dayton, Ohio. Been there the last, 7 years. Since 2012, I came back here from college, but I had always been back and forth between Richmond and Dayton. I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a man. So yeah, that's the gist of it.
How did you get your name?
Oh, my name is actually my birth name, Murakami. My mom gave it to me. I think what she was trying to do was get like a Jamaican vibe because I'm part West Indian. So it's actually an Asian name though. Like it has Japanese descent. It means the superior village. So when I looked into it, I thought it was dope because that's a place where people go for a lot of knowledge. So I try to, make that the truth within my music. Like I'm trying to give you knowledge, trying to give you game, something you can use. Can't lose with the stuff I use. Shout out to Bishop Don Magic One.
When you emailed us, you had a jigsaw on the front of your email address.
Right.
Can you explain, was that a previous thing?
Yeah, I was going by Jigsaw 92 before. And that, I did this interview. I did this song with this guy named Tom Giss. He's with Dipset. And that's like the first time I actually changed my name over from, my nickname has always been Rock. So that's what I was rapping underway in high school and everything. And the Jigsaw, it's just like every song I looked at like a piece. And then the 92 is just the year I was born. So that's the beginning. Looking back, it's like my granny used to always have puzzles around. So it just always kind of just made sense how everything progressed through. So. Also, like even to go deeper than that, my last project under the name Rock was called Beginning at the End. I don't know why I named it. Like when I did that, I didn't know why I was naming my project Beginning at the End for real. Like it would sound like I scripted it, but I think it just was divine energy for real that was behind that. So on that project, I did a song called Illusions. And in the song Illusions, I said, I just tortured them till they kill themselves, nigga, Jigsaw. That's the first time I ever even said like Jigsaw in comparison to myself. The next thing you know, I'm actually rapping under Jigsaw, and my first project under the name Jigsaw is called Illusions. So it just went full circle. It was crazy to me. Like, what? How did that happen?
Where are you from?
I'm from Richmond, Indiana. Small town, 1 high school, 2 middle schools, probably 5 elementary schools. Puny, real close knit. Everybody knows everybody for real. It's kind of got a family vibe, even though it's a lot of hate. But what else do they got to do down there? I love y'all, but I'm gonna be honest, y'all do be haters. For real.
So as a rapper growing up in a small town, how do you think that would compare differently to somebody who would grow up in more of like a violent urban area?
I think like my city, for instance, I speak from that. Like I say, I'm from Richmond by way of Dayton, and Dayton's a little bit more violent. So you get a lot more of that. You get a lot more gang culture. You get a lot more high rollers on the level of people who actually move in, getting money and stuff like that when you're in a bigger city. Compared to in my town, there are hustlers and everything like that in Richmond. Like, and it's just a little bit more hate, and it's a little bit harder to kind of move or hide. Like if you wanted to be out of the way, it's kind of harder to not be out of the way when you're in a smaller city. So yeah, I just leave it at that.
So a lot of times when somebody tells their parents that they want to be a rapper,
Right.
that their response isn't always necessarily positive. What was it like for you?
My mom, we were just talking about this last night. Like she believes in me like nobody else for real. So every time that I would release a project, when I was in school or anything like that, like she would support it. She listened to it. Even to this day, when she's anywhere, she's telling people about my music, showing them my video herself. So she's always been real supportive of it. I think like when I very first started though, like I would go to the studio as soon as I got home from school until like 1, 2 in the morning. And I wasn't so much communicating, but that's where I was. I just was moving, like I just was doing what I was doing. And I think the only problem came with the lack of communication, not knowing where I am. And honestly, in the environment that I was in when I was creating music as a 16, 17-year-old, I probably seen things that I probably shouldn't have seen at that age. So I understand it, but as far as the support, she always did that.
Music is a tough business to be in, and not a lot of people get what we would call true success in music, and it's an expensive gamble.
Right.
Why have you made the decision to give it everything you've got?
Because I've done the going, punching the clock, waking up before the sun get up, being at a place that you really don't particularly want to be, but you kind of have to be there to provide for yourself, to provide for your family. And at the end of the day, even after you give so much of your time to this company, like you're still disposable, you're still not gonna make enough to do anything but pay your bills for the most part. And I just feel like I'd rather invest in myself. Like I'd rather take the same energy that I will put into doing that and giving my all to somebody else's dream and put that into my own dream. And then over time, get to the point where I can take care of my whole family, make sure that my mother doesn't have to worry, make sure that my children are good, make sure that my grandchildren are good. I'm trying to create generational wealth with this. I see a lot of things that I could do with the music and build onto even more of a bigger brand. And plus on top of that, like I want to have something to where my children can listen back, my grandchildren can listen back, and then I could still be giving them the same knowledge that I would want them to hear if I was present with them. Like, so I just want to continue to leave a legacy, and I feel like this is my way to do that. This is the gift that I was given to do that. So that's that on that.
So being a true family man, how's your family feel about your career and pursuing your career?
They just don't understand why I haven't blown up yet. Like that's the thing I hear a lot. Like, why are you not there yet? So just keep going is all I can think, and we'll get there is all I can tell them. And you know, there's sometimes where they ask questions, but for the most part they haven't left me. So that's how you can ask.
And how long have you been doing this?
Oh man, as far as all right, so I talked to my aunts, I talked to my mom, and everybody. My mom said I was talking before I was one, but before I was talking, it was a song called "Slam" by Onyx. Slam, da 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 da. Let the boys be boys. Hey, if you don't know that, you know what I'm saying, go back and do your Googles, whatever you got to do. But so before I was talking, I would always say the da 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 da. She said, and this is before I'm one. Then I become able to talk, and I start singing the Snoop Dogg song. I can't remember which one she said it was now. But then I was talking to my aunts, and my aunts are teenagers. Like they was teenagers when I was born, so I was always real close to them. And they used to always sneak downstairs and watch a show called Midnight Love on BET. My aunt Tisha, her favorite group at that time was Immature with Marcus Houston when he was a kid. He was Batman, Romeo, LDB, these guys. And they had a song called I Will Never Lie. And I guess she used to play that song so much. And she said like one time they was playing it and I just came out of nowhere and I started singing it. Like, and they didn't know I could sing or anything. So I blew their cover. Like, you know what I'm saying? My granny came down. They had been sneaking downstairs for months when they were supposed to be in bed watching Midnight Love. I blew their cover. But that's where the singing started. And then as I grew older, I think I was about 6 or 7, and my uncle, he had wrote a rap for me. And then once he wrote that rap for me, I just liked that. So then I started to work on writing my own raps. And at 7, I started to develop that. So that's just the aspect of me being engaged and falling in love with music. But as far as traveling and investing in it and everything, as soon as I got back from college in 2012, the first thing I did was got a manager. Her name was Michelle. She ended up passing. She's from Columbus, actually. And the first thing I did was opened up for Juvenile. So from 2012 all the way to now, I've been on it. So, yeah.
So you've been in the music industry a long time. What kind of advice would you give like a younger person trying to get into the business, looking back now?
All right. Take your time, ask questions, cultivate relationships, and believe in yourself. Like, you have to, because you won't get all kind of doubt. And I mean, we all know, like, when you go into the studio, you try different things and you start to build your craft. So just believe in yourself, cultivate relationships, and you'll be all right. Stay humble.
Do you think the music business is talent based, or do you think it's based on who you know?
Well, you know, at this point, like, y'all be listening to the radio.
Yeah. If you had to pick one, would you rap or sing?
Oh man, I probably would sing though, for real. Yeah, because I mean, even with singing, like, if you listen to Nate Dogg, and if you really listen back to the old James Brown, you listen back to like the older 70s and everything like that, even when they were singing, they was really just dropping gems and dropping jewels and spitting that one type of tone, even then. So I'd rather sing, because I can still deliver my message with that.
So you've opened up for major artists such as Juvenile. What was that like for you? Like, first time getting on stage?
That was crazy, because it was like, when I performed, he had just arrived, and how the club was set up, it was Evolution. So how it was set up, the VIP is like right behind the stage. So, you know, as I'm performing, there's a time I look back and like he locked in on me for real. And I just felt like that was the coolest thing, just to be able to know for a fact, like, somebody who I looked up to musically has definitely heard my music. That was the big thing for me. And then at the end, I even got to like come face to face with him. I probably didn't approach that situation. I fanned out. I ain't gonna lie, I fanned out. But it just was cool just to know that that was possible. That was like my first time coming back from college, my first big show that I did. And already, like, this is where I am right now. So that kind of put my mind state in a place like, are we gonna go get this? You know, we ain't do the college thing the way that we was told it was supposed to be done. But for me to come back and hit the ground running like this, we gonna do it. Like, so that's what that felt like.
So you've done touring around the country. What was that like, and how do you think it helped you?
I think it made me more versatile as an artist, you know, because after you get in these different places and you get to tap in with artists from different places, and then you just get to experience the culture in different places, you kind of get a different vibe. You get a different type of music that you start to listen to, like, and I don't know, like, as the year progresses and you hear some of the projects that I'm coming with, you're gonna hear a lot of versatility in my music. And I think that's a direct reflection of all of the traveling I've been able to do and places I've been able to see. So, yeah.
You give it back to the community with charity events and workshops. Any future goals or philanthropy?
Yeah. I would definitely like to start doing annual things like that. Like, I would like to annually I did a back to school event a couple years ago in my community. We gave free haircuts to multiple children in the community, backpacks and supplies right before school, and just different things like that. And I was also able to do a writing convention for like all of the young artists in my community as well, and kind of teach them what my process of writing a song was. And I also was able to let them perform for the first time. Like, I brought my DJ down with me, and we brought them instrumentals on CDs to write to when they all perform. So I like doing that type of thing. Like, I like to see the children being invested into. Like, I just kind of put myself in the mindset of what would have helped me back when I was that age. And I would like to do a lot more of that for my community, because the children are the future.
So you grew up in a small town, and it seemed like there was a lot of negative energy because everybody knew everybody. Being a rapper probably wasn't that popular.
Right.
How was that?
Like, when I was young, like, one thing that kind of affected the way that I looked at people and my trust, the amount of trust that I was willing to give people, was I have a cousin. His name is Tyrone T-Bone Deloney. And like, all throughout school, even like when I was growing up, people would always tell me, like, I had like security at the school when they would see my last name when I was in trouble for doing some of the things I used to do with my wild ass. He'd be like, "You were Deloney? You related to Tyrone?" When he was like a first grade, he was beating middle schoolers in basketball, etc., etc. He was known for hustling. Like, he would go to It's a Dairy Queen on the north side. That's what side of town I'm from, the north side. I call it Norwood. There's a Dairy Queen, and like around that Dairy Queen, there's nothing but car lots all over. And he had developed relationships at a young age with every one of those dealerships, and he would clean their cars and make money. So he was always able to hustle. He ended up having a guy who, like at first when they met each other, they didn't like each other. And I mean, as the story progresses, like it started to make me feel like the other party never really liked my cousin at all. So to kind of fast forward a little bit, my cousin, he was doing his thing. They ended up becoming friends, him and the other guy. And I think he ended up getting robbed. My cousin ended up getting robbed by some older guys. And, you know, time passed, and the relevance of that is the friend of me, we call him a friend of me. The friend of me, he came around, all my cousins that was on the north side posted up. And my cousin Bird, which is Tyrone's brother, said that he saw the friend of me running from like 16th Street, which was where my granny lives. Like she's up on where she lives, it's up on the hill. There's a football field or a big field, a factory called Primex across the street from this neighborhood. This is 17th where the basketball court is, so that's where everybody hangs out. And then there's like a couple houses right here in the middle. And there's like an alley right here between 17th and 16th. So the friend of me's running down the hill from my grandmother's house. Bird sees him, it's like, come here. He's not answering, he's not responding, he's not coming. He ends up getting to the alley, and him and my cousin begin to argue. And I guess somewhere or another, he convinced my cousin T-Bone to come around the back in the alley with him. And there's this guy named Marcus who used to always be up in his window. And he says what he heard, because he was up in his window and he heard the whole conversation. The friend of me told T-Bone, like, I'm about to rob you, give me everything you got. T-Bone tells friend of me, you gonna have to kill me. And friend of me kills T-Bone. So Bird runs up, turns T-Bone over, sees him bleeding, and he ends up dying in his brother's arms. And it's like, me being young, I just remember T-Bone, every time I would see him, he would give me money, but he'd be like, when you get older, you're gonna have to learn how to get your own though. Or he'd see me in the store, he'd buy me something. He always made sure to let me know the importance of hustling. So I always respected that, and I think that's a big influence on why I move how I move. But also, like, me being young and getting to the point where I asked my mom that story, and she told me, it's like that also affected my trust with people. So I don't know, like, what I seen from that is like, you gotta watch people because they might pretend to be your friends, play you close, but at the end of the day, you really see who your friends are by their actions, and you know, it's nothing they can say to you. It's just going to show. So that's what I got on that.
What's next for Murakami?
What's next for Murakami? I got this project called Grind Set that's going to be coming very soon. This is like more of a up-tempo, motivate, go get it. You in the gym, trying to reach your goals. This is what you want to put on. Every song, it just, I'm talking that talk. Working. I got a single called Working. The video just dropped, shot by Mac Lawrence. That video right there is a good indicator of like what you're going to get. It's a lot of motivation. It's music you can take to the gym, whether you boxing, whether you working out, whatever you're doing, you can take it to work. Anywhere you're going, I got something for you. So that's what's coming next. Let's do it. All right, so I'm Murakami. You can find me at 2_Ton-Tony. That's on Instagram, that's on Twitter. It's also on Twitter, but I'm about to start doing that more. And then Jiggy the 92 Baby on Snapchat. So JIGGYDA92BABY. That's how you can find me.